Okay, I think I'm on. So we are on. So here we go. Let's give it a try. Jervy Champ P. This is a document strictly for lottoers, aka lotto players, ages 18 and up. But anyone can listen to it. Basically, what keeps going over in my head, because sometimes, I take a few days off, sometimes a week off. The longest I think I took up 3 weeks off of playing lotto. But then I get back to playing every single day, even if it's with pocket change, dimes, nickels, quarters, whatever, pocket change, because the bottom line is it's going to go on something that I don't need anyway. Fast food, junk food, whatever. In most cases, if a person smokes, it's going to go on that. Alcohol, whatever. It's going to go on something. So anyway, you might as well invest it in the lottery, in my opinion. But there's 3 basic facts of the lotto. Besides the fact that as long as you play, there's always a possibility of hope. But as long as you're not playing, well, you're just daydreaming, as the bus driver told me this had been like 2 years ago, when she says she was playing. She says, if you play and you don't win, it's cool. This was her philosophy. If you play and you don't win, okay, you lost a couple of dollars or a dollar. But if you play and you win, it was only because you were inside of the game, and that stuck in my head, and I've shared that with people as well. You got to play to win, but really you got to play to get paid. So anyway, moving on to the 3 facts. And every fact has a long story, so I'll try to make it short, because playing a lotto, being a lottoer, is a way of life. It's a never-ending story. And I remember texting my mom. I says, you know what? I've been playing going on 4 years, but it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be positively proud to share with people that I have stayed true to it. As I put it online, it's not always what you have or what you've accomplished, or even what you're trying to accomplish, because you're always going to want something. But you have to give yourself a pat on the back for how long you've been doing something. That is an accomplishment as well, because success comes from blood, sweat, and tears. Most people know this, but it also comes from self-control, discipline, dedication, stability, and etc. words to that are similar. Stand down, having heart, putting your soul into it. There's etc. phrases, but basically stability, sticking with it. So fact number 1. And it's a long story, but I'll make it short. It takes money to make money. Okay? $10,000, $20,000, even a $30,000 bank loan that a lot of times you see on an advertisement would only keep your business afloat a matter of months, not even a year. Okay? So it takes money to make money. You're going to need some money, at least 75 grand, 100 grand to keep it afloat, because you have employees, you have staff, you got security, you got state inspection, blah, 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 blah. You can start a business selling things out of your backpack and out of your car and out of your apartment with 10,000, 20,000, or 30,000, but not leasing the building. No, water, lights, gas, supplies. It's not even going to cover the basics, 20 to 30,000. So don't believe those ads, those TV ads, internet ads. Don't go for that game. They just want to gain interest off your credit. Moving on to that's fact number 1. Moving on to fact number 2. Fact number 2. If you're going to play the lotto, people look at you crazy if you're a lotto, or you tell them your quota is big, like like mine, 500 million. That's my biggest quota. Second place, 300 million. Third place, 100 million. Is because living in the state of Texas is not like other states where they only take 10% or a certain amount of money. Because the money goes toward public education and veterans and who knows what else, you're only going to pocket 60% of it. So let's just say if a person has a small quota of 50 million, I'll make it easier than that. 1 million, that's your quota. That's your goal. Well, the state of Texas is going to take 400,000 of it. That's right. If a person has a lotto jackpot that's more than 65,000, according to research, what they've advertised, if it's more than 65,000, you have to pay taxes. So let's say you got $1 million ticket and it's a winner, all 5 numbers, all 6 numbers, whatever the game is. Only 600,000 is going to go in your pocket, so you're happy, hooray, you're cheerful. But that's just the first tax. The second tax is you have federal tax, okay, which is basically state tax after lotto tax. Then you have county tax, okay, county tax, and then you have state tax. So there's basically 5 taxes. You got the lotto tax, you got the federal tax, okay, you got the state tax, then federal. I'm trying to get this in order right. You got the lotto tax, that's number 1. Number 2, federal tax. Number 3, state tax. Number 4, county tax, and then city tax, if I'm not mistaken. It's 5 taxes you're going to pay. And it's like, wow, and wow. So, I could be wrong, but that's the research. Yeah. So, now you have something like $500,000. Okay. It's something. But you might want to think big. You know, you might want to think big. Okay. Which is why you play lotto in the first place. It's thinking out the box. So with thinking out the box, you might want to think big. The third fact is no matter how big the jackpot is, always, in my opinion, it's best to be safe than sorry, and this is a fact. Always check the annual box of 30 annual payments. Forget about pride, forget about bragging rights, forget about all that. And the reason that is, if I were to ask most people, 7 out of 10 people, okay, when you get up in the morning and the lights aren't on, do you sometimes accidentally bump into something or kick something? Most people would raise their hand and say yes. Out of every 10 people, probably 7, if not all 10, would say yes. And this is called an accident. I would ask them, and they would probably agree, yes, this is called an accident. I mean, after all, you don't bump into something on purpose if you just woke up in the morning or at night. So it's the same thing with business. And this is very important. Once you have the lotto checks, okay, deposited to your bank account, may take a while, may take a few days, but it's finally in your account. You divided it up in 7 accounts, blah, 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 because you don't want all your money, in one bank. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Basically, you are going to have to invest. And investing in a deli, a coffee shop, a corner store, sure, that may pay the lights, water, and gas in your apartment, but it's definitely not going to pay your bills in a townhome or even a small house. You're going to have to invest in something that is called a necessity, not an accessory. And a coffee shop, a deli, and a corner store is an accessory. They're accessories. They're not necessities. So in my case, garbage truck, produce, livestock, recycling, and so many other things. Something that's going to exist, needed in the public's eye. Okay? So because these necessity jobs are such a high demand, they require a lot more money than what you're going to be putting down, toward a deli shop or a coffee shop. It could run you to start a business 150 grand or more off the top. So, the good thing about the annual payments, to make a long story short, you'll learn by the 15th payment in most cases. If you have common sense, you'll learn what you can invest and what you can't. You've got practice. So that's all I have to say. Those are the 3 facts of lotto, and nothing is guaranteed. Not even playing a lotto. But the more you play, the more you program your mind, which is a good thing, especially if you're a visionary, because you have to take risks, but you don't want to take big risks, maximum or even medium. You just want to take small, minimum risk, in my opinion. So those are the facts. Facts as an average percentage, 85% or more out of 100%. People would agree, such as 10 people, 7 people would agree. That is the fact, of my opinion, that people would agree on, the majority, that will title fact. Thank you for the time, Champion My Legacy. Today's date is February 10th, 2024. Time 12:59 p.m. Champion My Legacy.
And thank you for your time. If I can exit.